So I think the Switch is a little bit of genius from Nintendo. Before the Switch came out, they had the 3DS and they had the Wii U. There came a time when they really did need to release a new handheld and release a new console. The Wii U wasn't doing very well, and the 3DS had started to get a bit outdated. So what do? Release a console that's also a handheld. I mean, what the Switch is, essentially, it really is just a tablet. If you look at it, it's kind of like one of those e-book readers. Now, it's got the touch screen and everything else you'd expect from a tablet. But it is a console as well, so you've got these little Joy-Cons that you can use in various different ways. I think you can use them separately as their own little controllers, but you can also slide it on. So you end up with this thing which is quite big for a handheld, but it still feels fairly comfortable. I don't really like playing it like this because I don't play handhelds all that often, but thankfully you can play this on a TV because it comes with this little box, but you can plug in an AC adapter and a HDMI cable, and then you can play it on your TV. The game I'm going to play is Streets of Rage 4, and Switch games come on these tiny little cards. Modern games don't come with instruction manuals, or at least they rarely do now. But this one came with a keyring, and it came with a mini art book, which is really nice. So that's it. Enough talk, let's play some Streets of Rage 4. From what I've heard, there's a few different people that worked on the soundtrack, including the original guy, Yuzo Koshiro. He did some of the music, but he didn't do all of the music. It still essentially has that Streets of Rage flavour, I was going to say. I've played it a little bit already, and I've unlocked Adam. There's a few extra guys there you can be. I don't know if they're DLC or if you just unlock them by playing the game. But you can play this 4 players, in fact, or you can play it online.
Axel Stone.
Here we go then. So for people that have played these Streets of Rage games before, this is all very familiar. That might be done on purpose. This does look like a very level 1 kind of level. But you've also got a lot of returning characters, and a lot of the moves have come back. with a few little extras as well. So when you first play it, it's nice to experiment. Yeah, this music's brilliant. I love it. These are all enemies that I've fought against before in other games, but I'm still getting hit by them. I didn't do it that time, but you can still press up and jump to stop yourself from landing on your back when you get thrown. You can still throw enemies into each other. It's really, really responsive. There's people in that bar there, just above me, and they're not really bothered about all the fighting going on. One of the things that I really like about this is that once you throw something, you can actually catch it again if it bounces off an enemy or a wall or something. I do abuse that as much as I possibly can. Yeah, they definitely made this as much like the first level of Streets of Rage 1 and 2 as possible. They were definitely thinking of nostalgia. Was there no one driving that car? Oh yes, I've picked up another star, so you can spend those stars. I forget which buttons you have to press, but if you use it, then you do a really powerful special move. There seems to be very, very slight frame rate drops at certain times. I don't know if it was my video capture that was doing it or if it was the Switch. So we have the first boss in the game. He's fairly simple, but he can make those iron bars levitate. It's not a good idea to throw them at him, but I do keep trying. I think I might use my specials just a little bit too much. They drain your hit points. And in fact, that is not the end of level 1. There's a second half to it. So this game is definitely longer than the Mega Drive games, but I think it had to be because people would have felt shortchanged. So I'm doing quite well here. I haven't lost a life yet, but I found the difficulty is set up in such a way that it doesn't expect you to play through the whole game from start to finish. Maybe I just suck, but I do find myself just about scraping through the first time I played the game, that is. Okay, so this is the first level boss, and I've picked up a pretty impressive 4 stars here. I don't know if I use any of them. Ah, there we go, so that's my first special. If I sound any different in this video, it's because I'm using my big USB mic. I normally talk into my mobile phone for these videos, but I figure since I do have a microphone, I may as well see if it works better. This is fairly long, isn't it? It's taken me about 15 minutes to get this far. Wow, she tanked that. She's a tough woman. Dead. That electric eel, or whatever it is you were using, is not going to help you now. No thanks. So I'm going to play as Cherry, who I've not played as before. Oh no, I've been thrown in jail. At least they let me keep my guitar. The Cherry does play a little bit different to Axel. Her moves are slightly different because she's a bit smaller, so I find that she doesn't throw enemies around as much. Those cops are called Ferocios. When I first saw screenshots of this, I didn't like the way it looked, and I don't really know what's changed. I don't know if the game has changed its look, or whether it's just grown on me, but I really do quite like the look of it now. It's obviously not 16-bit pixel art, but it's a game that's 1080p. You're just not going to have pixel art anymore. It's not really feasible. Yeah, there's a nice touch here, in fact, that the, what do I call them, the police and the thugs, they're not on the same side, so they do attack each other. I've probably missed loads of items because there's things that you can break that I didn't expect you to be able to break. And the thing is, after that first level, where I really did enjoy the music, nothing else in this soundtrack really stands out to me. But I do have a vague memory of having the same feeling when I played Streets of Rage 2 for the first time. I really loved the soundtrack in Streets of Rage 1, but when I played Streets of Rage 2, there was only 1 or 2 tracks that I really enjoyed. I think it was the ending theme and the level 1 theme. Now I like almost all of it. So perhaps the same thing will happen here. But the way the game plays, I really love this game. I think this game's absolutely fantastic. Sometimes Sega get it really wrong, and sometimes Sega get it really right. And I think with this particular game, they got it right. It's exactly what the fans would have wanted from Streets of Rage 4. And they probably would have wanted it on the Sega Saturn. But I suppose at the time, when the Saturn was fairly new, I don't think a 2D game would have been acceptable. Oh my god, I want to get past these guys before I even get to the boss. I can skip them, okay. Why are all of these guys so massive? Ah, that was a stomp move, wasn't it? See, the trouble is there's no instruction manual with this, so I had to just learn the moves as I played it. Oh, did I get an extra life? It's really lucky that I got an extra life there. See, I think that I'm doing quite well, but I'll probably end up getting a D or something for this one. I remember this getting quite tense. It's amazing how he can tank being kicked in the face. Alright, fantastic stuff. So I'll end the video there. Streets of Rage 4, really good. I don't know if you're someone that doesn't really play 2D games, that only plays AAA games. But trust me, this is really good fun, and for people that have played the older Streets of Rage games, or even just 2D fighting games, this is exactly what you're looking for. So that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.